KURINJI Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
KURINJI Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.com.
Students, now in this video we are going to start a new chapter. Chapter name is transport in plants. So transport in plants. So there the word itself, by seeing the topic name and all, so we can understand so what we are going to discuss for. So means here how water molecules or how molecules which are present in the plants will be translocated or transported from one cell to another cell or from one one part of the plant to another part of the plant. So means suppose what is my intention to say, no, suppose if the water molecules are present in the root, so gradually by the process of transport that will be reached to the leaf. So thereby here water molecules which are present in the root, that is translocated or transported from the one place to another place and finally reached to the where? Leaf. So likewise here, even here also what are the main important accepts to be taken means, once you see in a flowering plant, the substances that would need to be transported are water, mineral nutrients, organic nutrients and plant growth regulators. Means here these substances would needed to be transported. So means definitely all these nutrients and all these materials, each and everything should be transported from the one place to another place. Okay, means here regulators, plant growth regulators concerned, organic nutrients concerned, or mineral nutrients concerned, or water, minerals, whatever it is, definitely must be transported from the one place to another place. Okay, so over small distances or substances move by diffusion. So means here suppose if you take small distances, suppose if the food materials or the any kind of minerals would like to move from the one place to another place in small distances, means at the time all these molecules are definitely can be translocated or definitely transported in small distances by the process of diffusion. Once you see over small distances substances move by diffusion process. Means here so small distances, suppose here for the very small distance molecules would like to move, means so definitely they can transported by the process of diffusion and by cytoplasmic streaming. So one more also is there, that is cytoplasmic streaming and supplemented by active transport. Means here while this kind of means suppose here if you take cytoplasmic streaming, so how this particular cytoplasmic streaming helps for the translocation or the transportation of minerals or the ions or whatever may be the nutrients, so definitely taking place by active transport. Active transport means we know very well in the cell unit of life chapter, while after completion of discussion of Golgi complex, we have learned what is active transport and what is passive transport, isn't it? Now suppose here once you say what is the meaning of or what is the definition of active transport, suppose here the movement of ions or the movement of minerals taking place from the higher concentration or lower concentration to higher concentration with the help of with the help of energy in the form of ATP means, so such kind of transport only simply we are calling as active transport, isn't it? Means here in cytoplasmic streaming supplemented by active transport. Okay, next one, transport over long distances means here we have seen here exactly spotlight we have seen a diffusion. So there under diffusion, what is the main important point we discussed? Suppose if any kind of molecules would like to move to the short distances, at the time molecules will choose the diffusion process to go for only small distances. Now here we have started to discuss for long distances or longer distances. So how these molecules or the minerals will move means, once you see, through vascular system. That's why here the transport over longer distances proceeds through the vascular system. For example, xylem and the phloem members. Means here in anatomy of the flowering plants we see complex tissues consist of two important complex tissues. One is xylem and second one is phloem. So thereby, what is the use of this xylem? Definitely it conducts the water and minerals from the root to aerial parts. So thereby here the flow or the transport of water and minerals, so definitely conduction process takes place with the help of xylem in unidirectional flow. Unidirectional flow means already we have seen always water and minerals translocation takes place or the transport process takes place always from the root to aerial parts. Aerial parts means leaf and branches are there, or flower inflorescence, that side. Okay, next one, phloem, if you see there, what are the food materials which are prepared in the leaves by the process of photosynthesis, all will be translocated or transported to the all parts of the plant. So at the time phloem work will be in multidirectional and xylem work will be in unidirectional. Point puriyudama. If you take xylem, the work will be always in unidirectional method or unidirectional flow. Suppose water and minerals translocation we are saying there is no chance to the transport of water and minerals from the leaf to root. The roots only are associated with the soil, so thereby kandipa water and minerals translocation process takes place only in unidirectional. So there is no chance to the transport of water and minerals from the leaf to root. I hope you are getting this point. But here phloem members, if you see there 100% translocation of food materials or the transport of food materials taking place always from the, or most of the cases is from the leaf to root. Okay, leaf to root. So that's why here 2 points remember pannukongama. Adi enna, xylem conducts the water and minerals in unidirectional flow, and phloem conducts the or transport the food materials and other kind of nutrients in multidirectional flow. Okay, now here whatever may be that adi pakkathal podugonga. Ipo enna point we are discussing or we are concentrating more means, suppose here the minerals or the transport over long distances proceeds through the vascular system is called as translocation. So till now I have used no word, that is here translocation. Once you see translocation means, what is the meaning? Transfer means a certificate, a transfer certificate we will take now. What is the meaning? So we are joining from the one school to another school. At the time that particular sheet or certificate is required. Likewise here also, when the molecules or the minerals or the nutrients are moving from the one location to another location, so that particular phenomenon only we have or we are calling as translocation. Means location is changed. Means till now what are the food materials are present in the roots, or what are the water and minerals are there in the root are transported to the leaves. So at the time translocated. So right, next one, an important aspect that needs to be considered is that the direction of the transport. Means see here one important aspect we have to consider or we have to concentrate. அது என்னென்னா டைரெக்ஷன் ஆஃப் டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் மீன்ஸ் ஹியோ எப்படி ஸோ ஆன் விச் டைரெக்ஷன் தீஸ் மாலிக்யூல்ஸ் ஆர் மூவிங் அண்ட் ஃப்ரம் வேர் தீஸ் மாலிக்யூல்ஸ் ஆர் கம்மிங் அண்ட் டு வேர் தீஸ் மாலிக்யூல்ஸ் ஆர் கோயிங் எவ்ரிதிங் we have to concentrate. That's why in rooted plants, so now here one example we are taking. In rooted plants, transport in xylem of water and minerals is essentially unidirectional. Rooted plants, now the plants are there in the soil. Means suppose if you take one plant there, we can see or we are observing so many parts of the plant. No, roots are there, stem is there, leaves are there, and likewise there are different types of plants. If rooted plants means plants are there with roots and these roots are there present in the soil. So such kind of plants transport in xylem of water and minerals are essentially unidirectional from the roots to stem. Means here the definitely transport that particular transport of minerals and water, that particular process taking place only in unidirectional from roots to stems. And organic and mineral nutrients, suppose if you see, however, undergo multidirectional transport. So these two already we have discussed. I have given explanation also. Nalla save pannikonga. Aprom organic compounds synthesized in the photosynthetic leaves. Organic compounds ipo starch and glucose will be prepared, no adema. So in leaves by the process of photosynthesis starch will be prepared, no. So that particular starch only in a biomolecules we see, no. Why we are going to do the iodine test? So because of the presence of a starch, iodine test gives the result like a blue color we see, no. Adida. So means there what is the indication? There organic compounds are there. Means here organic compounds are synthesized in the photosynthetic leaves and are exported to all other parts of the plant. Means here what are the food materials are prepared in the leaves, by evening all these food materials or synthesized food materials must be transported to the all organs of the plant. Otherwise how they will survive? Roots are there in the soil. Suppose if these roots are not getting food materials from the leaf, these roots will not be alive. Definitely, so the availability of minerals and the water is there, but that is not sufficient to be alive. Definitely food materials are required from the leaves at the time, even though it is very close to the water and minerals. So definitely for the live condition it need food materials from the leaf. That's why when it supplies the water and minerals to the leaf, simultaneously root get food materials from the leaf. From the leaf. Correct only. So thereby, root supplies the food materials. So it is flowing. Sorry, right. Now I must see there. Now organic compounds are synthesized in the photosynthetic leaves and are exported to all other parts of the plant, including storage organs. Next one, from the storage organs they are later re-exported. Means so once the food materials are stored in any parts, so based on the conditions, what are the food materials which are stored in the storage parts, again that will be retranslocated. For example, if we see like a potato or some kind of storage parts, means example carrot or beetroot. Suppose if you take example, suppose when the plants needed food materials, so chance is there to take food materials from these stored parts. Point you understood, no? So likewise aloe vera, suppose these are all succulent plants, suppose when unfavorable conditions comes, so water is stored in the form of like gel like substances, at the time. So suppose when the plants are going through the harsh conditions or unfavorable conditions, so they will take so they will take it will take the food materials and the water from the stored parts. So likewise here what is happening? So storage sometimes from the storage organs they are later re-exported. Next one, mineral nutrients are taken up by the roots and transported upwards into the stem, leaf and growing regions. Means here mineral nutrients are taken up by the roots taken up by the roots and definitely translocated and transported to the stem, leaves and other growing regions. Next one, when any part or any plant part undergoes the senescence. Suppose means senescence na old stage. Suppose if any part of the plant becoming a old or a senescent, don't forget senescence means so old stage. So old stage, suppose of plants point of view, if you see generally leaves will be in green color, no, but when we can recognize the plant is in a old stage means suppose green color leaves will be converted into yellow color, no, by seeing the yellow color leaf we can recognize now the plant facing or that particular leaf undergoing through the senescence stage, means old stage. At the time what is happening, no, what are the nutrients are present in that particular old leaf, all will be translocated to the young leaves. This is important statement, don't forget. Okay, ba? So next one, nutrients may be withdrawn from such regions. Appadena meaning, so nutrients which are moving or which are withdrawn from the old regions and move to the growing parts, appadena young parts. Next one, hormones and the plant growth regulators and other chemical sugars are also transported in very small quantities. Means here the hormones, plant growth regulators and other kind of sugars, chemical sugars, and each and every part, each and every chemical part which will be translocated, even though these are all very small little quantities, definitely must be translocated. So thereby here what is the point we have to understand, no? In plant body what are the chemical parts or what are the essential things are there should not be stable, must be translocated from the one place to another place continuously. Next one, sometimes in a strictly polarized and unidirectional manner from where they are synthesized to other parts. Means sometimes these are all, I said no, should not be stable and should be polarized and strictly polarized and should be unidirectional, means that will be translocated from the one place to another place in a unidirectional manner, and where these are all or the elements or synthesized should be transported to the other parts. Next one, hence in a flowering plant there is a complex traffic of compounds. In plants there are different types of chemicals are there, and when these chemicals are translocating from the one place to another place at the time, so traffic madri will be there. Suppose in a road also, suppose if you are going by car or bike or in some other kind of vehicle, so thereby somewhat traffic how it will be created. No, likewise even when there are different types of components or going or translocating from the one place to another place in the plants, that is also creates some kind of traffic of compounds, but probably very orderly. So means here how we will follow the traffic signals and all, even what are the chemicals are present in the plants, no, maintains one sequential order or probably very orderly will moving in a different directions. Each organ receiving some substances and giving out some other substances. Means here it takes, suppose if we need, it takes, suppose if it would like to export, it will give. So likewise mutual interaction and coordination will be there among the systems and organs. So right, next one, small concept we are going to enter and we are going to learn. So that is means of transport. So that is his means of transport, diffusion. Now diffusion, movement by diffusion is a passive. Movement by diffusion is passive, means thereby here what is the point here we can understand on this small sentence, no. So while diffusion process is going on, it is a not active and it is a passive, means it is not energy consumption process. So in diffusion process there is no need of energy involvement or there is no chance to the involvement of energy. So that's why, and moreover here the diffusion is nothing but I'll tell you that. Now here once you see, it may be from one part of the cell to other part of the cell, or from the one cell to another cell, or ever short distances, say from inner cellular spaces of the leaf to outside. Means here, suppose we see diffusion is nothing but definitely helps in conduction or the translocation of any kind of substances in short distances point of view. This particular diffusion process help. Likewise, in introduction we see now. So that's why here, what is the point here we are understanding? Suppose if any kind of chemical would like to move from where to where? From the small distances, from the cell to cell, or from the cell to cell, or short distances, or suppose it would like to move from the one intracellular space to another intracellular spaces, or from the leaf to or outside, every process. So definitely follow the diffusion process. Now that's why here one point we have learned, that is no energy expenditure takes place. So means in the process of diffusion, so there is no consumption of energy. So means there is no involvement of energy. Now in a diffusion, molecules move in a random fashion. Molecules move in a random fashion, and net result being substances moving from regions of a higher concentration to regions of lower concentration. So means here one point we see, what is that? Suppose if the diffusion process, suppose if you see there, the molecules movement will be there in a random fashion, and net result being substances moving from regions of higher concentration to regions of lower concentration. It means we say no. Suppose if the ions are moving from the higher concentration to lower concentration, at the time already ions are moving from the higher concentration to lower concentration. At the time, what is the consumption of, or what is the use of the energy there? Not required. Suppose if the movements of ions going on from the low concentration to high concentration, at the time kandipa energy is needed. Ipo one example I will tell you, just listen clearly. Ipo in our home, motor is there, tanni motor will be there, no ade. So suppose if you would like to send the water from the ground to like a storage, like a tank and all, definitely we have to switch on the motor, isn't it? Once the tank is filled, which is there in our home, top of the home, at the time if you would like to get the water in your tap or a sink, at the time again you no need to switch on the motor. Suppose if you switch on the tap, definitely tanni will come from the tank. Means at the time differences are there, no? From the tank, from the motor, from the groundwater to tank, here middle motor is there, but from the tank to tap there is no motor. Why? Because already by using of energy we have stored the water in the tank. Now without energy we are getting the water in the tap. So difference is there now. Likewise here also, suppose here water molecules or any kind of ions are moving from the higher concentration to lower concentration. At the time there is no chance to the taking off, or there is no need to depends on the energy. So that is a process only here we are understanding or we are getting in diffusion. I hope you understood this example. Next one, diffusion is a slow process. This statement also is important. Diffusion is a slow process and it is not dependent on the living system. Sorry, diffusion kandipa it occurs only in living organisms or living systems, sir, means no. So based on this point, we can understand this particular diffusion process we can see anywhere. Suppose in our class bench mele ukandi. So while class is going on, suppose at the time by entry of the teacher into your class, you will get like what is that, scent smell and all, nalla smell, likewise you will feel. Means here what is happening there, or that you can sense from your friends also. Just I have given example like that. So thereby what is the point now we are taking from that example, So here when the scent or spray or deodorant smell we are getting, what is happening there phenomenon, diffusion process means the content or the spray molecules or that particular scent or smell that is moving from the higher concentration to lower concentration. Suppose if you are applying that scent and all, we will smell, means other persons also will smell, means thereby what is the point, ions are moving from the higher concentration to lower concentration. So at the time that is not living, So that's why here, what is the point here we are understanding? Diffusion is a slow process and it is not dependent on the living system. Understood now? And diffusion is obvious in gases and lipids. Means we can see this particular diffusion process very clearly, very obviously we can see in gases as well as lipids. Next one, but diffusion in lipids is more likely rather than of solids. Means here one more time you see this, but diffusion in solids is more likely rather than of lipids. Okay, so next one, diffusion is a very important to the plants since it is only means for gaseous movement within the plant body. So means it is not only this one, diffusion, definitely it is a very important to the plants for what? So here in this particular case concerned, definitely diffusion process is required to the plant body for the exchange of gases. இப்போ gases exchange is there, no carbon dioxide உள்ள வரும், அப்புறம் oxygen வெளியே போகும். So this entire process also mainly taking place by the process of diffusion. Next one, diffusion rates are affected by the gradient concentration. So affected by the gradient concentration. As per our knowledge concern, definitely ions movement, how it will be takes place from the higher concentration to lower concentration, only that particular process takes place. So sometimes it will be affected. Next one, permeability of the membrane, separating them, and the temperature and pressure. So here some kind of factors influences the diffusion process. That also may be temperature, and that is maybe pressure, and that is maybe gradient concentration. Gradient concentration. So suppose if two areas irukama ange, so which area consists of more concentration or the more percentage of molecules, from that to the flow of the molecules takes place from the from that area to other area. So likewise here diffusion process always taking place from the higher concentration to lower concentration. This is the small information so which we can discuss under diffusion. Easy only, introduction only, very easily you can understand. Suppose if you are unable to understand, so let me know that, definitely I will explain in presence of you. So thank you and be safe at home.